Hopefully this will help us speed through our docket and be as efficient as possible. All right, we are now live on YouTube. We are getting ready to get started with our DWI arraignments. Again, good morning. My name is Omar Maldonado. I'm the presiding judge for County Court at Law number 8. Today's docket will follow the order in which you are set out in today's docket. So if you are Alejandro Warden, please be patient with me because you're going to be the last one to be called here today. All right, otherwise, we're going to be moving through today's docket relatively quickly. If you currently have your camera off and you're not an attorney, please turn that camera on because I will need to see yourself, your person, as I swear you in and ask you a series of questions. In just a minute, I'm going to call each of you alphabetically, and I'm going to be asking you some questions about whether or not you understand the range of punishment, whether or not you're mentally competent and able to understand the nature of the proceedings and assist your attorney in your own defense. And then we're going to get into some conversations about your case very briefly. I've already pre-screened all of your cases, and I will tell you that the great majority of you all will need to remain behind and not log off and visit with our probation officer about an alcohol monitoring mobile device, okay? I'll have more information about that here shortly. I'm going to open up to share screen so that all of y'all can see the screen. Now, all of you all are here as a result of an alcohol-related offense, all right? And that offense will fall under one of the following two categories. And so please look at the screen and understand that DWIs fall under either a Class B misdemeanor. A Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in the Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction, okay? A Class B carries a fine of up to $2,000, up to 6 months in the county jail, or both upon conviction. A Class A misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to a $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in jail, or both upon conviction. So all of you are here as a result of either a Class A or a Class B. When I call your name and I have you identify yourself by name, I will ask you whether or not you understand the range of punishment. Again, whether it's a Class A or Class B. So please know that the range of punishment for either a Class A or Class B, and that way we will just move through the docket relatively quickly. Okay, again, when I call you, we're going to identify Class A or Class B and your mental competency. Now, all of y'all are here, again, as a result of an alcohol-related offense. Some of you, if not the great majority of you, are going to be ordered to have an alcohol monitoring mobile device as you leave here today. And if I ask you to stay behind and to visit with my probation officer, it is because your case has been pre-screened as one of the following 4 categories. If you fall under one of the following 4 categories, you will be ordered to have a mobile device. That mobile device will be ordered to be installed by next Wednesday. And next Wednesday's date is, 1 second while I get next Wednesday's date. The 27th. All right, you will be ordered to have that mobile device installed by next Wednesday, the 27th of April. Failure to comply with that order will result in an order for your arrest. Now, why would I order an alcohol-related monitoring device, a mobile alcohol monitoring device? Why would I order it? Well, if your DWI caused an accident, it doesn't matter how significant or insignificant that accident was. If an accident was determined to have resulted as a result of your driving while intoxicated offense, you will be ordered to have a mobile alcohol monitoring device. Okay, so DWI causing accident. If you provided a breath sample and that breath sample provided a BAC greater than a 0.15, therefore by definition a Class A misdemeanor, you will be ordered to have a mobile device upon leaving here today. It will be ordered. It must be installed by next Wednesday. If this is your second offense, if you've had at least one prior offense and this is your second offense, again, Class A, you will be ordered to have a mobile alcohol monitoring device. And finally, number 4 is if you've had at least one prior contact with law enforcement that was alcohol related. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is you previously had a driving while intoxicated charge. You, through an attorney, may have gotten a bust down. You may have gotten a pretrial diversion. You may have gotten your case disposed of through other means with the district attorney's office. Maybe you got a trial and you got found not guilty, but you had an alcohol-related incident, and here you are with another one. In that situation, we're going to order that a mobile alcohol monitoring device be installed. Now, this is what I'm about to say here in the next slide is something that's relatively new. Some lawyers know about it, others don't. But we definitely want to let everybody know that one of the incentives for having a mobile, or one of the incentives for compliance with a mobile alcohol monitoring device is that you have no violations during your, while your case is pending, during your bond modification, okay? And why am I doing what I'm about to say, and why do I do what I'm about to do? I will waive your fines and your court costs, okay? I will waive your fines and court costs upon final disposition of your case if there are any fines and court costs associated with the final disposition of your case. Meaning, if you accept a plea bargain agreement with the state, if you enter into an agreement for a pretrial diversion, if you dispose of your case in some manner or means that results in if you dispose of your case in a way that results in fines and court costs being levied against you, if during the time that your bond has been modified, there are no violations, there's no verbal admonishments or sanctions that were issued against you, then I will waive your fine and court costs. How much does that equal out to? Approximately, I would say approximately between $700 to $750 when you add fines and court costs together. Why do I do that? Well, because I want to reward those of you that complied and had zero violations, and I want to help offset some of the cost of the mobile device. If you have no fines, if you have no admonishments, waiver of fines and court costs will be issued or removed from any judgment. Okay, so again, that's kind of an idea as to what's going to proceed here today. Again, I went over today's docket. And looking at it, I think only maybe 3 of you will not have a mobile device installed. There was quite a number of cases today that resulted in some sort of accident. Again, today is not the day to discuss how serious or how insignificant the accident was. We can discuss that later, but today we will not be discussing that or getting into any conversation about why you should be the exception to the rule. But again, even if a device is installed, in that situation where a device is installed, as long as there's no violations, you're going to get a waiver of fine and court costs upon final disposition. So please visit with your lawyers about that. All right. Any questions before we get started? Anyone? All right. If there's no questions, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get started with CR 22-02-118H, Montserrat Arellano. Montserrat Arellano. Is Montserrat Arellano present? All right, it doesn't seem as Montserrat Arellano has made an answer. I know that there was a waiver that was rejected by the court. I guess maybe his attorney may have assumed that it was filed. We will make contact with Mr. Valdez and let him know, and let's just go ahead and reschedule his arraignment to the next arraignment, please.
I tried contacting Mr. Valdez, but his line just rang. I could see it as I'm an assistant or some. They never answered.
All right, let's set him up for the next arraignment, please. All right, that'll be June the 3rd, 2022 at 9:30. All right, let's move on to CR 22-02-139H, Kevin Carrillo. Kevin Carrillo. Ms. Diaz, good morning.
Melinda Diaz for Mr. Carrillo. I don't see his name, Judge, but I spoke to him earlier and he told me he was in waiting. He was already logged on.
No, I do see him there. Mr. Carrillo, can you unmute yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kevin, can you unmute yourself?
Sure.
All right, good morning, Mr. Carrillo. Can I have you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is your true and correct name Kevin Carrillo?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Carrillo, you're here before the court charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. I need to advise you that let me ask you this. Did you understand the range of punishment as was explained to you earlier this morning for a Class B misdemeanor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No.
Counsel, in speaking with your client, do you find him to be mentally competent, able to assist?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Court's going to go ahead and make a finding that Kevin Carrillo is mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for him at this time and reset his case for June 16th. Ms. Diaz, June 16th, 2022 at 9:30 in the morning. June 16th, 9:30. Now, this is a case that after reviewing it does not require any bond modification. So for that reason, unless I have any questions, both Mr. Carrillo and Ms. Diaz, you all are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank
Your
you.
Honor.
Let's go ahead and see CR 22024028, Adam Garcia. Is Adam Garcia present?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia,
morning.
can I have you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is your true and correct name Adam Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, did you understand the range of punishment you could receive for your offense, which is a Class A, driving while intoxicated, second offense?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, sir.
Mr. Galvan, do you find your client to be mentally competent, able to assist?
I do, Your Honor.
Court's going to make a finding that Adam Garcia is mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for him at this time. Reset his case for June 16th, 2022 at 9:30. Now, this is a DWI second. There was an accident. As a result, we will have to have you visit with our probation officer about a mobile device. So don't hang up, Mr. Garcia. Remain, and as soon as we're done with docket, I'll have put you in a breakout room with our probation officer.
Okay, thank you, sir.
No problem. All right, Mr. Galvan, you're excused unless you'd like to stay and be put into that breakout room as well.
Nothing further, Your Honor. You have a great day.
Thank you, you too. Let's move on to CR 2201-930H, Juan Antonio Garcia Jr. Juan Antonio Garcia Jr.
Judge Jorge Munoz on his behalf. I believe he's present on Zoom, Judge. I think he's on mute.
Let me see, Juan Garcia. Yes, I do see Mr. Juan Garcia present. Mr. Garcia, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Garcia. Can I have you raise your right hand, please?
Good morning, sir. Yes,
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes, sir.
Is your true and correct name Juan Antonio Garcia Jr.?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Garcia, you're here before the court charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Did you understand the range of punishment you could receive for a Class B misdemeanor as was explained to you earlier this morning?
Yes, sir.
Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, sir.
Mr. Munoz, in speaking with your client, do you find him to be mentally competent, able to assist?
Mr. Garcia is competent, Judge.
Court's going to go ahead and make a finding that Juan Antonio Garcia Jr. is mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for him at this time. Reset his case for June 16th, 2022 at 9:30. Again, that's June 16th, 2022 at 9:30, Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia, your case was also pre-screened and identified as a mobile modification or a bond modification with a mobile device. So please remain, and I will put you in a breakout room as soon as we're done so you can visit with our probation officer, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, remain on mute. We'll be with you shortly.
That's all I have, Judge. May I be excused, Judge?
You're excused. Thank you, George.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, let's move over to CR 2201-929H. I believe it's Ariella Guillen. I hope I pronounced that correct. Ms. Guillen? Okay, can you might go into the back and follow my bailiff so we can put you on the screen, please. Mr. Mercado, I think I saw Orlando's log on. I think he's trying to log on his audio. All right, good morning, Miss Guillen.
Morning.
Do you pronounce your first name Ariella?
Yes.
All right, Ariella Guillen. Is that your true? Oh, let me have you raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is Ariella Guillen your true and correct name?
Yes.
Ms. Guillen, you're here before the court charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. I know that you were not present in the courtroom when the court read out the range of punishment. So I will let you know that a Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in the Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment you could receive for a Class B misdemeanor?
Yes, sir.
Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, sir.
Your attorney is Orlando Mercado. I see Mr. Mercado trying to log on. At this time, the court's going to make a judicial determination that you are mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for you at this time, Ms. Guillen, and I'm going to reset your case to June the 16th, okay? June the 16th, 2022 at 9:30. Now, this will be in person, and I forgot to mention that to everybody. June the 16th will be in person. All cases after the beginning of June in County Court 8 will be live and in person, okay? So unless circumstances change, this will be not via Zoom, but in person. So I forgot to mention that, but just FYI. Your case is not a bond modification case, which means that you do not need to remain and visit with my probation officer. So as long as you remember June 16th, 9:30, back over here in this courtroom, we'll see you then and we'll let Mr. Mercado know, okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Perfect. You're excused. Next case is CR 19-04-425H. That's a motion to revoke. That's Victoria Muniz. That's a motion to revoke. She also has CR 22-02-414H, Victoria Davila Lopez.
Good
Ms.
morning,
Lopez.
Judge.
Good
Yes,
morning.
that's correct. She does have the motion to revoke. It was set for a status today. She's not been served with that warrant. I was the attorney that was originally appointed that placed her on probation. So she would need new counsel on the motion to revoke.
I'll go ahead and appoint you on that motion to revoke, Ms. Muniz. Okay, so you'll represent her on both, assuming you're willing to accept the.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so we'll appoint you on that one. And let me go ahead and arraign her on this second DWI. Can I have Ms. Lopez please unmute herself and raise her right hand, please? All right, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect, thank you. Is your true and correct name Victoria Davila Lopez?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Victoria Davila Lopez, you are here before the court charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, a second offense. Did you understand the range of punishment you could receive for a Class A misdemeanor as was explained to you earlier this morning?
Yes, sir.
Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, sir.
Counsel, speaking with your client, do you find her to be mentally competent able to assist?
Your Honor, she is competent and she's been able to assist in her defense.
Court's going to go ahead and make a finding that Victoria Davila Lopez is mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for her at this time and reset her case for June the 16th, 2022 at 9:30. June 16th, 9:30 in person. This is a DWI second, so she will have to remain to visit with probation about that mobile device that she'll have until Wednesday to install. With respect to the motion to revoke, she hasn't been served. I have no problem unless the state objects to it. I have no problem giving her a PR bond on it so she doesn't have to get taken into custody at this time. As long as she's got the mobile device, I'm good with it. Any
Your
objection
Honor,
to the state?
Go ahead.
I thought that she still would have to be processed because the warrant is pending. I think if counsel for the state dismisses it, then she doesn't have to be. It's my understanding that she still has to be processed even though it's a PR bond. I could be.
Well, I will allow her to, you can walk her in and I'll give her a PR bond to get served with it. I don't know if Yuri is in a position to, today, I would doubt that he's in a position to dismiss it. Maybe.
Correct.
I don't know. Yuri?
Oh, just I did speak to Ms. Muniz, I think it was yesterday, but I can't dismiss it just like that.
No, and we understand that, and I'm not asking for the dismissal. I just think that my understanding is that she still needs to get processed with the warrant. Otherwise, I understand that the PR bond will be in effect, but I think the warrant will still stay pending if she doesn't get served with it.
Okay, let's do this. I will, if you're requesting that that she kind of walk in, I don't have a problem with doing that.
Okay.
We're not in person, so we're kind of doing it on the honor system that she's gonna that you'll take her, you'll escort her, you'll give her information on how to get to the county. She'll turn herself in, And unless I hear an objection, I'll give her a PR bond on the.
And Judge, I won't be able to personally take her or escort her as I am in Nueces County right now, but I will give her the directions and the instructions. I did advise her previously that she would have to get processed and hopefully that she was going to receive the PR bond and she should be released the same date, but she would still need to get processed.
Yes, Ms. Lopez, if you don't mind, I'm gonna order that you go and you turn yourself into the county today. We will send the paperwork over immediately after today's hearing. It'll be a $2,500 PR bond. So you'll be booked, processed, and released. Given the overcrowding issue, I doubt you'll be there very long.
And for the record, the state does not reject a PR bond.
Perfect. Okay, I'm assuming at this point, she does not have a mobile device?
I don't believe she does, Judge. She was, I think, ordered to get the ignition interlock device, but I explained to her that she will be needing to get the mobile device.
All right, so hang tight, Ms. Lopez. Don't go anywhere. As soon as we're done with docket, I'll put you in a breakout room and my probation officer will explain all the requirements and the details on getting the mobile device. By the end of today, please go and surrender yourself at the county jail. Ms. Muniz will give you all the details about that, and a PR bond will be issued here by lunchtime and will be sent over to the county jail.
Okay, thank you.
That's all I have, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You're excused. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, next on the docket is CR 22019798, Maria Elena Moreno. Moreno, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Emerson Arellano standing in for Hector Bustos.
What happened?
All right, Ms. Moreno.
Yes.
Good morning. Can I have you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, sir.
Is your true and correct name Maria Elena Moreno?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Moreno, you're here before the court charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Did you understand the range of punishment you could receive for a Class B misdemeanor as was explained to you earlier this morning?
Yes, sir.
Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, sir.
Counsel, speaking with your client, do you find her to be mentally competent to assist?
I do, Your Honor.
Court's going to go ahead and make a finding that Maria Moreno is mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for her at this time. Reset her case for June the 16th at 9:30, June 16th, 9:30. Now, this case was pre-screened and I believe an accident did occur. So as a result thereof, the court's going to ask that Ms. Moreno remain on mute and we will put her in a breakout room with our probation officer here shortly.
Yes, sir.
Any questions, Mr. Arellano?
No questions, Your Honor. I have nothing further before the court. May I be excused?
You're excused. Thank you so much.
And just to, one question, June 16th will be in person, correct?
Yes, June 16th will be in person. Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, I apologize. I signed back on. It's Victoria Muniz. I looked at my calendar. June 16th, I'll be at Rusty Duncan. I don't know if you have any settings the week before or even the week after.
We can go the week after. Let's see about the week after. Give me 1 second.
Okay, Judge.
Oh, how about the week before? I'm sorry, because then I'm out.
No,
We can do the 7th or the 9th, whatever works better for you.
the 9th should work fine, Your Honor.
Right. Ms. Victoria Lopez, I think you're still on there. Ms. Lopez, a change of date. Yeah, your date is no longer the 16th, but the 9th of June. Okay, June 9th, just for you, just for this case. All right, everybody else is the 16th, but for your case, it'll be reset for June the 9th. Okay. Perfect. All right. Thank you.
Good.
Next is CR 22023887H, Joseph Charles Olstein.
Here.
All right, Mr. Olstein, can I have you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Is your true and correct name Joseph Charles Olstein?
Yes.
Mr. Olstein, you're here before the court charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Did you understand the range of punishment you could receive for a Class B misdemeanor as was explained to you earlier this morning?
Yes, sir.
Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, sir.
Mr. Ramos, are you standing in on behalf of Mr. Rene Flores in this case?
I am, Your Honor, and Mr. Olstein is competent.
Court's going to go ahead and make a finding that Joseph Charles Olstein is mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for him at this time. Reset his case for June 16th, 2022 at 9:30 in person. This case was identified as an accident. As such, Mr. Olstein, hang tight.
I didn't have an accident.
Your Honor, it's my understanding that this was not one that.
No accident, Mr. Heller?
No.
Let me check, Judge.
It's my understanding that Mr. Olstein I was assuming he was one of the three that Your Honor, announced earlier that was not going to be ordered.
Okay, Mr. Heller advised me that this was an accident.
It's not.
Right, let me double check that, Judge. I thought it marked it as an accident as well.
I was asleep.
Hold on, Mr. Olstein.
Okay, I'm sorry, I apologize. I misread the report.
All right, because this is not a case that requires a bond modification, the court will not take any action and will reset this case for June 16th at 9:30. Mr. Ramos, and both you and Mr. Olstein are excused. Please be in mind that June 16th will be in person, okay?
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Mr. Heller.
Thank you.
My apologies.
No problem. All right, CR 2202-452H, Carla Melissa Ruiz. Is Carla Melissa Ruiz present? Carla Melissa Ruiz. All right, what says the state?
State request judgment NICE be granted. KPC issued in bonds for the state of Texas.
Judgment NICE will be granted. KP is issued. Bond forfeited to the state for the arrest of Carla Melissa Ruiz for her failure to appear. CR 2202-061H, William Christopher Sines. William Christopher Sines.
Yes, sir.
All right, good morning, Mr. Sines. Can I have you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is your true and correct name William Christopher Sines?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sines, you're here before the court charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class A misdemeanor. Did you understand the range of punishment for a Class A misdemeanor as was explained earlier this morning?
Yes, sir.
Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, sir.
Counsel, speaking with your client, do you find him to be mentally competent, able to assist?
Mr. Sines is competent, Your Honor.
Court's going to go ahead and make a finding that William Christopher Sines is mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty. Reset this case for June 16th, 2022, 9:30 in person.
Judge, my
ahead.
apologies. I will also be at Rusty Duncan. If we could move it to the week before, Your Honor.
Sure.
Or anytime
Go
the
ahead.
court's available.
Let me give you June the 9th.
Yes, Your Honor.
June 9th, 9:30.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Sines, your case will be reset for June the 9th at 9:30. This is a bond modification case, so just hang tight right where you're at. Remain on mute, and I'll put you in a breakout room with my probation officer here in about a minute.
Judge, if I could get Mr. Sines' phone number as well. I know he showed up to the courthouse, but we haven't been able to have a chance to speak to him about his case, Judge.
All right, Mr. Sines, can you provide Mr. Barbosa, your attorney, with your phone number, please?
Yeah, you ready?
Yes, sir.
956-904-8188.
Okay, we'll talk after this, Mr. Sines.
Cool, appreciate it.
Thank
All
you.
right, hang tight, remain on mute, Mr. Sines.
Will do.
All right, I believe number 14, a waiver was filed, so the NICE will be recalled, and the reset date has already been entered into the system. So Carla Melissa Reese, NICE recalled. Let's move to the last case that I have before the court, CR 2201-933H, Alejandro Warden. Alejandro Warden, good morning,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Warden.
Good morning.
Can I have you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Is your true and correct name Alejandro Warden?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Warden, you're here before the court, charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Did you understand the range of punishment for a Class B misdemeanor as was explained to you earlier this morning?
Yes, sir.
Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, sir.
Counsel, speaking with your client, do you find him to be mentally competent, able to assist?
Mr. Warden is competent, Your Honor.
Court's going to go ahead and make a finding that Alejandro Warden is mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for him at this time and reset his case for June 16th at 9:30 in person. June
Your Honor.
16th.
I will also be at Rusty Duncan, Your Honor.
All right, June the 9th, then, I believe is the date that we're giving for those of you attending the conference. June the 9th at 9:30, okay? June the 9th, Mr. Warden. This is a case that was identified as an accident, Mr. Warden and Mr. Conchas. So as a result, I'm going to ask that Mr. Warden remain so that we can go ahead and put him in a breakout room with Ms. Rodriguez.
Understood, Your Honor.
All right. Hang tight. We'll be right with you.
Then that's all I have, Your Honor. May be excused.
You're excused. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now I have Mr. Guajardo, Mr. Rigney's client, who's been having some difficulty logging on. Carlos, I know he's a Spanish speaker. Can you see if he can hear us?
Señor Guajardo, ¿nos escucha? Encienda su micrófono, por favor.
Buenos días.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Guajardo.
Buenos días.
Can I please have you raise your right hand?
Levanta su mano derecha, por favor.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Jura que testimonio que ver esta mañana será la verdad y solamente la verdad, señor.
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
Is your true and correct name Marco Antonio Guajardo?
¿Es su nombre verdadero Marco Antonio Guajardo?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Guajardo, you're here before the court charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Let me advise you that a Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in the Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment you could receive for a Class B misdemeanor?
Señor Guajardo, usted se encuentra ante la corte porque eres acusado de una ofensa de manejar intoxicado, que se considera un delito menor clase B. Y tengo que avisarte que con esta ofensa, lo máximo de castigo que usted puede recibir es hasta 6 meses de cárcel del condado, una multa de $2,000 o las dos cosas ya ha sido encontrado culpable. ¿Sí entiendes?
No entendí bien.
I did not understand that well.
Okay, so because your offense is a Class B misdemeanor,
Por la razón que su ofensa se considera un delito menor clase B,
the range of punishment, if you are found guilty,
lo máximo de castigo que usted puede recibir si es que lo encuentran culpable
is up to
es hasta 6
months in the Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction.
es hasta 6 meses de cárcel del condado y una multa hasta $2,000 o las dos cosas ya ha sido encontrado culpable.
Do you understand that that's the range of punishment?
Entiende que nomás eso es lo máximo que usted puede recibir por esta ofensa.
Sí.
Yes.
Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
¿Alguna corte alguna vez te ha declarado mentalmente incompetente o que diga que estás loco?
No.
No.
Court's going to go ahead and make a judicial determination that Mr. Marco Antonio Guajardo is mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for you at this time and reset your case for June 16th at 9:30.
La corte va a encontrar que usted está competente para proceder aquí hoy. Vamos a poner una declaración de no culpable por su parte a este momento y la vamos a poner nueva evidencia para el 16 de junio a las 9:30 de la mañana.
I spoke, the court was in contact with your attorney, Mr. John Rigney, this morning, who had something come up that prohibited him from being here. So what I'm going to ask is that you stay in contact with him and let him know of today's reset date.
La corte se comunicó con su abogado Rigney hoy en la mañana y tuvo una otra audiencia que prohibió que él estuviera presente aquí hoy. Pero voy a esperar de que usted se comunique con él y le dé esta fecha que le acabo de dar.
Ok, 16 de junio a las 9:30 de la mañana.
Ok, June 16th, 9:30 in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Sí, correcto.
Now,
Gracias.
because my understanding is that an accident did occur as a result of this DWI, I am going to ask that you not log off. I'm going to put you in a breakout room with my probation officer so that she can explain to you the ins and outs about getting a mobile device that you will be ordered to have.
Ok, ahora por la razón que indico aquí que hubo un accidente que ocurrió, voy a pedirle a usted que se espere y no se vaya. Lo voy a poner en otra sala para que hable con nuestra oficial Rodríguez, tocante el aparato móvil que va a tener que obtener usted.
Ok, gracias.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let me go ahead now. That takes care of my docket. I'm going to go ahead and place those of you that need to visit with Ms. Rodriguez in a breakout room. You will be receiving an invitation to enter into a breakout room. Please accept that invitation and visit with her. She'll explain all the ins and outs of that mobile device here when I put you in that room, okay?
Ahorita en su pantalla, señor Guajardo, se le va a mandar una invitación. Acepte esa invitación para que entre a la otra sala.
Ok, gracias.
Okay, thank you.
All right, please accept the invitation. All right, Ms. Moreno, if you come, there she is.